Oh, man, somebody got a knife.
What is up, Internet? We are live on Alabama Grapevine with Tyler Perea, Zachary Mcalpin, and and Ryan Suggs. Hope everybody's doing good today. We're hanging out. Bill Potter came on earlier.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
That was awesome.
I love his page, the Dekalb historical, DeKalb County Historical Group.
I thought that was awesome. I think the page is cool too, and he does a lot. And they're gonna let us do a ghost hunt over there.
Where?
They're gonna let us do a ghost hunt at the. I just remembered. It's convenient. Oh, you remembered because you're on the podcast. No, they're gonna let us do a ghost hunt at the Opera House.
Really?
Yeah, there's a ghost over there called Sam.
No
Yeah,
Well, what did he say about that?
He didn't have the pool, but the lady that does have the pool was watching.
So it is haunted.
That's what they say. They said there's a ghost called Sam.
Oh wow.
And so I asked her, I was like, well, can I get your number from Bill and let us do that?
Mm.
And they were like, yeah, bro, you can do that. So she's going to let us in, which is very cool.
I kind of feel different about ghosts. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
I'm terrified, but like also I'm going to take my camera, and I'm pretty sure I've never seen a ghost ever on camera like do anything.
If anything, it'll be good laughs for sure.
Yeah, it'd be great.
For sure.
You go, I'm down.
I think that'd be awesome. Bill does a lot in the area. They're trying to make Fort Payne grow. I guess Tyler said he does have a good name around here, which is really cool. So that was a big interview.
I love
for
that
us.
page though that he does,
He's
and
got
I think it's
17,000
real
people on
interesting.
there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he's very educated about this
Yes.
area. And so how long did y'all go on
We're
the
an hour.
podcast?
We got an hour. He was
Hour?
nervous about it, so we started kind of slow.
Yeah.
But then once we got rolling and we was talking, it was
It was good.
Hour
It was
over, man.
easy.
He said he was nervous. I'm not saying he was nervous.
Yeah.
He said he was. But once we got rolling, he was like, "All right, cool. We're talking about everything."
Yeah, I'd love to see him on again.
I would too. I'd like to see him with someone that is a little more educated than me. As
Oh,
far as
absolutely.
talking goes. But that I thought he did really good, and it's really cool to see what he's done. If he'll share our interview on his page, that'd be great for me.
Yeah.
One thing he was saying though is something that you've said is that it's not hard to arrest people on meth.
No, not
So that's
at all.
a common belief for people.
Oh yeah, it is. Well, it's common for me because I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to not just meth, but arrest people for meth.
Not just man.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
arrested
yeah.
them also.
It's real easy to pick out a crackhead
Yeah.
and a drug addict.
Now,
if
do you call
will.
them crackheads now?
No.
People
Well,
that
no.
smoke crack?
It depends on if they do meth or anything.
Or was
like
that like a thing when you was a cop?
Yeah,
You was like
that
crackhead?
was
Oh.
the label that we would call them as. Call them as you seen it. But now also,
Mama got
also-
this baby.
people don't want to live next to somebody who's on meth.
No.
Somebody don't want to have somebody next door on meth. But what I'm saying is that it was the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire life is arresting a drug addict.
When they tell on each other too.
Well, absolutely. They use that. They after a drug addict is arrested for felony possession, the task force, if they go talk to them, will be like, hey, you give me 3 buys and I can get this charge off of you. But that charge, they'll usually do a plea deal and they still have to do color code.
Yeah.
But they have to wire up and make 3 buys on a wire with the same dealer. And then once they do that and it's all good, the DA likes it and everything, they'll get a distribution charge. They'll get a distribution charge on the drug dealer.
And it's usually somebody like low tier.
Oh, absolutely. I
It's
haven't
never
seen-
the big dog.
No,
They
I
can't-
mean, I ain't seen. Now they've made a big arrest from time to time.
When? Because all I ever see
It's
is
been a while.
they'll have like 4 or 5 like really cheap.
yeah, they've
granddad
been arrested
shotguns.
in like 40, 50 drug addicts a month,
Yeah.
and blasting them on their page.
So-
and not
But if you catch 40 or 50 drug addicts, surely you can get one pretty big mover of
Well,
drugs.
I mean, it looks better on you when you get the.
Well, yeah,
get
that's
the
what
multiples.
Bill said was the reason they catch so many is because that's how you move up as a cop.
Mhm.
The more cases that you get, you're good. Oh, and dope head's easy. Guy's a dope head. I don't call people dope heads no more because I got friends that do drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but-
And I know it's not like people can say it's their choice or whatever, but kinda. You know,
There's
kinda.
trauma and stuff.
Kinda.
Well, there's a lot.
It's someone's choice to
For-
be an alcoholic too.
Well, absolutely. Now some people will never change, and they don't want to change.
No.
And they'll always keep making the same mistakes over and over. But there's some people that needs a little guidance, a little help. Say we live in a world full of discouraging people, and a little bit of encouragement goes a long way.
really does.
And so what the system is profiting off of is poor people.
Yes.
Okay, because when you have a fine, that fine is not the same fine as somebody that came from money
Oh yeah, $300.
at all.
Yeah.
So they're not learning the same lesson at all.
Exactly.
Now, what I have been seeing is that the workforce has gone down tremendously by laborers and everything, and people with a skill set in the trades. Nobody knows how to do anything anymore at all. So you force these drug addicts after you arrest them into doing programs and classes and everything. Well, why don't try to, offer them a class to where they can learn a trade. They can learn something that they can be useful at once they complete their drug court or color code.
They just want their color code money though.
They do.
So
And-
exactly like you said though.
Yeah.
Like it's,
Can I get some
the
of that?
trade is like they're losing workers in the trades these
Yeah,
days, and like it's
100%.
going to be high demand jobs. In the future,
Have y'all noticed there's less high demand jobs here?
Yeah, I have.
You think that's got something to do with the drugs?
The poverty level that's in DeKalb
Yeah,
County.
because you just said they get off color code and then they have to get out and pay those. Or they get on color code, they have to get out and pay that money,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. Well, their family, a lot of times the family is having to suffer for their consequences because they don't have money.
No.
Most drug addicts don't have money. So their family, who loves them very much, and some of them don't have family anymore,
No.
they pay the fines.
Yeah.
And they pay all this.
No.
Now, what they're doing is while they're arresting all these drug addicts and blasting them on social media and all that stuff, what they're doing is they're just showing us how much of a problem we really have in this county that nothing's getting done about
No.
it. It's just putting a Band-Aid over a wound. That's all it is.
they're doing the Lord's work.
Absolutely. Yeah. And they're good people for it.
So a lady, we're having her on the podcast. I'm awful at names, but I got it right here. Actually, we're gonna have her on the podcast in a few days. Miss Kim Brown. Me and you talked about it earlier. They recently, I assume recently, I'm not sure. I just heard about all this, but they had a death in their family.
Mm-hmm.
And where is it?
About in Center,
Center.
Cherokee County. Yeah.
So
I'm not real familiar with that case.
the word that I'm hearing is, I don't want to tell someone's story. Something happened to where there was an accident and someone died. A girl died. The lady died. Right?
Yeah.
Well, the guy that
It's a car wreck.
apparently, yeah, it is. They're saying it's a car wreck. He caused car wreck because he was drunk. He took off and ran away. He took off, got out of the car, ran away. Right? So they're angry because no justice was given to that girl. Now, had it been meth or something, he'd have been on color code. He'd have had all this stuff
He didn't
happen.
get in trouble at all.
Well, no, that's not that. Yeah, that's what they're saying though. But what they're saying is what they're saying. And now I'm unbiased. People think I hate the police. I do not. I'm just not a blue line guy.
Yeah.
I don't think you're cool because you work a regular job in a pretty regular area of work. That's only changing and getting more violent because of the lack of opportunity in the area.
Yeah, well,
That's an
so
argument for another time. But so anyway, that happened. And but what they're saying is that guy that caused the wreck that was drunk is what they're saying is that he had a buddy in that sheriff's office that was the investigator for that case. So that guy investigated the case. We just couldn't get it locked up, man. Just couldn't get it locked down, man.
Slipped away, man.
So that dude is just got out scot-free, right?
Yeah.
That-
He was found not guilty, I think, yesterday.
Found not guilty
Lady
of
passed
any.
away and everything.
Yes, that girl died.
Yeah.
She had a baby. She had a
I went
baby.
to school with
She
her.
had a
was
baby
sweet
Kenna's
girl.
and
She was
Charlie's
a-
age.
She was a real sweet girl.
And they didn't do anything about it. Not one single thing about it. And while we're on the blue line thing, just because we're just going to get into it. So the minute that I started saying anything even kind of negative about the DeKalb County Sheriff's Office, and again, kind of negative, just sort of negative, like, hey, man.
It wasn't lies or nothing.
No, it was all truthful stuff. Just kind of, hey, this is what's going on. Y'all are giving Nick Jones favorable treatment, and then now your sheriff's department's in shambles because you guys can't all get along.
Yeah.
Someone else is going around
Yeah.
for sheriff. That's all I said. Nothing crazy to the point of holding them accountable for their job.
Yeah.
Just very basic, middle of the pack stuff.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah. The very minute that I started saying all that stuff, and this is where I don't think things are okay, my wife started thinking that they were going to like run me off the road on my bicycle or shoot me up in my car. She's convinced still that at some point they're going to kick in my door.
It's just a little weird though,
And-
man.
and just-
Well, I don't know about any of that. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. But what I do know
Well, hang
is
on,
that,
let me keep
okay,
going.
go.
So after that, here's the thing. Here's where it gets really weird for me. I told her, ha ha ha, no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. But I did also say they did accidentally go do an accidental, no knock warrant at their own house the other day.
Accidental.
It's a slippery slope for someone to call and say, hey, there's dope over at 1648.
Mm.
And then they come to my house on accident and flashbang my kids. That's a hard thing. But that's a slippery slope. But where things really got weird for me is my dad, our dad, used to be like he wanted to be a blue line guy. He wanted to be a cop, and he did his stuff with his pills, and whatever happened. Everybody knows that story. He comes to my kid's birthday party the other day, and he tells me, he says, hey, man, just letting you know, they're really fired up about you over at the sheriff's office. I said, about what? I said, about what? He said, well, they're just saying they're real mad and up in arms about stuff you're saying.
You're telling the truth, man.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So,
Yeah.
so they can say they don't care about what I say, but if they're sitting over there in any way and talking about me and what they would do if they caught me and how they're going to give me all these tickets and,
Yeah,
and
see.
whatever they're going to do to get back at me for just saying basic stuff, right?
For freedom of speech.
I hope and pray to God that they do. I hope they start giving me tickets. I hope they try to catch me with drugs because I just don't do drugs.
Yeah.
But I hope to God that they try to think they can pull me over and harass me all the time because I'm going to get me a big chunk of change, boss.
Mhm.
I ain't done nothing illegal, nothing wrong to you. I talked very basic. I reached out and asked you for a quote to see if you could tell me anything about it. If y'all don't want to talk to me, I can't help that. All I can put out is the story I get. But if they're going to sit over there and talk about me, saying how mad they are at me and stuff like this, enough that it gets back to my dad, who's not even in that group anymore, that's weird and that's a problem.
Oh, well, I don't know why they make a big deal about somebody else spreading rumors about them and everything when I know for a fact that in law enforcement, there's some of the biggest gossiping, rumor spreading, teenage girl acting little bitches I've ever seen in my life. That's what they are. But when it comes after, I don't like when they just plaster all these drug addicts.
But now you worked as a cop.
I
You're,
did.
you're not
I did.
saying this from the sense of you had a cop. You were in there and you saw
I was
how it
in there and I've had my ups and downs, absolutely. And if you want to watch the very first episode we put out, I'll tell you, you can find all my shit on
You
there.
said it all. You said
All of it. Now, what I'm getting at too is that a lot of people don't have that courage to admit when they're wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that courage to have accountability for their actions at all. Now, the rumors that we heard came from inside
Yes.
law enforcement personnel.
I heard a very, very crazy rumor about the sheriff.
Several law enforcement personnel.
Short of talking to you, have I ever said it ever?
What?
Just the rumor that I've told you, the one about
Oh,
the
no,
sheriff.
go ahead.
No, I'm not going to. I
No.
don't have to. That's not why I'm here.
I heard that again the other day
Yeah.
from
Just to be clear and concise, whatever the sheriff and the sheriff's department workers do in their spare time is one thing. That's one thing.
Yep.
But if you're showing favoritism towards people because they pay your bills, because they make you look cool on the news,
Yeah.
then there's a very, very real
high
problem.
society takes care of high society.
There's a very real problem.
Oh yeah. Nobody cares about poor people, working
No.
class people.
I-
Nobody really does, especially in the political realm of
I've never
things around
mentioned
here.
that. I've never said the rumor that I heard, and I was told it a lot at the sheriff's office. It was frequent, and that's why I asked you. I called you even after I was told, like, "Hey, did you know about this?" And you were like, "Well, no."
Well, I checked in
Yeah,
and I got multiple sources inside the law enforcement community telling me that there is a problem in there. And now DeKalb County Sheriff's Office is one of the highest paid departments in the state of Alabama.
in the state.
And are we talking about Nick Brown and Josh Harrison going to Cherokee County?
I'm talking about
Oh,
the
what-
big insane rumor that I
Oh,
just
the
wouldn't
affair?
say. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
Which one?
You
Okay.
talk about Nick Brown. And
Okay, yeah. So they left to go to Cherokee County, which Cherokee County is in shambles right now, and is not doing great at all. They did have an opening for the investigations because all the investigators is left over there. So
Why'd they leave?
how it's been ran, they
got
don't like the leadership there
I got you.
at all. And so I do know that Josh and Nick left to Cherokee County when they have no real ties over in Cherokee County
At all.
They've been cops over here for a long time. Now, Nick Brown's a great guy. I like him. I do. I seen him at my grandmother's funeral.
I don't like him.
Yeah,
I'll tell you why.
No, I know. But listen, I seen him at my grandmother's
He was
funeral.
not. It's not about the
Well, no,
grapevine.
I know.
Yeah.
But I seen him at my grandmother's funeral, and my granddad was a former trooper, and there's a bunch of cops there. And he came up to me and said, "Hey, Tyler, how you doing?" I was like, "Man, I'm doing great. Nick, how are you doing?" He was like, "I'm doing great." I was like, "You been staying busy?" He was like, "Oh yeah, we've been having a lot going on." I was like, "I bet, Nick, I bet." And he said, "Tyler, if there's anything I could do for y'all, you let me know." And I was like, "Well, Nick, I am kind of hungry." And he said, "I meant in prayers, Tyler."
No, he did not.
Yeah. And I said, "I can pray for myself, Nick." That's a true story. And then he left. No, that's a true story.
You swear he said that?
Dude, I swear, I'm not, this ain't a joke. I'm not making a joke, dude. This is true. And I was like, "You take care of yourself, Nick." He's like, "You too, Tyler."
I'm hungry,
Oh my
Nick.
God, yeah, man. I mean, don't ever say that you're here to do anything.
If there's
you're
anything I can do,
not
I'm just
willing
hungry
to-
for a $2 burger.
Yeah.
bro.
But of course, was I messing with him? No, I was kind of.
You'd have took the burger. You'd have took the burger. Now, so he did at least say something to the grapevine that day, and everybody thinks it's just that I'm angry just because I can't get an interview. No. So here's the word as far as how Nick Weldon got elected sheriff. There's an employee that works for the Southern Torch. Before he worked for the Southern Torch, he worked for Nick Weldon, right? He left Nick Weldon. Somehow he ended up getting lucked out and got that job at the Southern Torch, right? Maybe he went to college. Maybe he had some background in that. I don't know, but he ended up getting that job with the Southern Torch. Once he got that job with the Southern Torch, bam, bam, bam. Any good positive publicity that Nick Weldon could get, he got, man. He got. Not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's very like who else could possibly win sheriff at this point in here in this area? Who could do it?
It's hard to beat an incumbent.
Well, I mean,
What is that?
but who?
Somebody who's in office.
But how would
is
that?
they're called in.
But okay, so the Southern Torch owns every news outlet in the area, and all they do is say everything positive and glowing about Nick. How would anyone ever beat that guy?
Yeah, I know. You do need opposition when you're in a political office.
Yeah.
When you're holding a political, you do need somebody to be like, "Hey,
Well,
maybe this ain't cool."
maybe this ain't cool what you're doing.
You need another perspective. That's what I'm trying to say. You need another
absolutely.
perspective on how you're holding office, especially if you're working for the people. If you're
Yes.
working for the vote.
You work for the people
Yeah.
that elected you. And I'm not saying that I'm like, again, everyone thinks I hate Nick. I think there's plenty of stuff Nick does good. He
Absolutely.
speaks very
Absolutely.
well. Speaks very well, has a nice haircut.
Yeah, great haircut.
Right, great haircut. He speaks well, and he has arrested a lot of people
Yeah.
for drugs.
Mhm.
Cool. But like if you're arresting 50, 60 people a month for drugs and you can't give me one big, huge drug bust,
There's something going on
brother,
there.
come on. What are you going to do? Like
Get a dime sack
what's
every week
what's
or
the end game?
One of those 50 can lead you to the bigger bus.
Yeah, what's the big game? What's the end game?
And we
Well,
all
a
know
lot of
where it's
people
coming
don't
from.
understand how many confidential informants there actually is in the county. A lot of people don't understand how many people actually works and talks to the cops. There's a lot of people.
Well, if they're on meth, the vast majority.
No
Well,
one,
that's
no
true
one's going
too.
to call in
but-
today
most
because this
meth-
is like a hard
But also,
conversation.
you got to think about this too. There's some people who talk to the cops that they have a problem in their community, and they need help by cleaning up their community, and they can't just do it themselves
No.
legally.
No.
So they do talk to the cops. I'm not talking about them people
Mhm.
that don't do no wrong, that has kids, that wants a nice neighborhood, wants a nice community.
Dude, they should
And-
have that.
Yeah,
have
they
to
should have
right.
that.
That's
They
me
should
too,
have
you
that.
know, but-
A lot of people gets hung up on victimless crimes. Well, some of them victimless crimes leads to crimes with victims. A lot of your property crimes leads to people drug addicts.
Yeah,
Is breaking into people's houses,
stealing stuff. For
Yeah,
money.
that's true. Now, I think that maybe you should implement an option when you do arrest these people. Either they go through color code or they do like maybe 3 random drug tests and do community service. If you offer them some community service, maybe they'll have a chance to help the community. I think we need community gardens. I also think
That'd
that
be cool.
you know,
They have a
working at
little
the
garden.
animal shelter.
They got a little garden at the sheriff's office.
do Meals on Wheels. You know,
Yeah.
All that
there's
stuff.
all kinds of services that they need volunteer help.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, get them in programs to help
Yeah.
them get back into society. and
Well,
work.
absolutely. I like that. I like that a lot. And if you do put them inside the community, maybe they'll start realizing that they can be a part of that community in a
Exactly.
productive
'Cause a
way.
lot of them are ostracized.
Yes,
and-
absolutely.
like you
Because
said,
they're
we're
looked
blasted.
down on.
Well,
They're looked down
they're
on.
immediately
and they're
called
not
crackhead.
understood. A lot,
Yeah.
some of them.
Immediately called crackhead. And there's so many people that just
I
have
got
a
to pass.
problem.
You got to pass. We all have
We
a
all
past.
mess up.
Exactly.
We
mess
all
up.
true repentance is really turning away from your wickedness,
Yes.
from your wrongdoings, and
Exactly.
true repentance is turning away your thinking.
Yes.
Get a grip on how you are thinking and start getting some self-awareness about you.
I needed that. That's
Accountability.
cool. I like that. Amen.
But this county needs help.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
The
And
surrounding,
nobody
too.
cares about these poor people. Nobody cares
No.
about these drug addicts. Nobody cares
No.
about high society takes care of high society. And that's how it's always going to be around here. Unless if some people
Yeah.
can get together and start,
Now-
coming up with some good.
Now, what do you mean by high?
Climbing
Now,
that ladder.
you gotta things have to change. Someone has to come up and change some stuff. There's going to be a few people, I think, in the area that can do it. What do you mean high society takes care of high society? Elaborate on that. Who is high society that you mean? Are you saying you think the Jones,
Well, okay,
Are you
the
saying,
so-
wait. Are you saying you think the Joneses, the Marla Jones, the people that own the Southern Torch, they have a lot of money?
I don't know if they have a lot of money.
Okay,
Do they have a lot of money?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Well, they were probably taking care of other people who has a lot of money too.
But the sheriff's office doesn't have a lot of money.
No, they don't, but they need money.
Okay.
They constantly need money, and poor people can't give them money unless
Well,
if you fine them,
Unless you
unless
force them
if
to.
you arrest the
You
shit
know,
out
get
of
bail
them.
with
Yeah,
whoever
they'll
supports
give you some money.
So
That's
you think
politics.
the
That's
sheriff's
politics.
office and the richer people in this area are kind of a high society thing that look out for each other.
Some, not everybody in the sheriff's office, not every
Okay,
cop either.
Okay, see,
Not
that's
every
important.
cop, not every sheriff's department employee
There you
is
go.
like that at all. I'm not
No, you're
Yeah.
saying some.
some.
I agree, some also, and that's why I think that's the only place that gets questions from the sheriff's office.
Mm.
That gets to give the questions to the sheriff's office is them, because hey, we're not going to make you look bad, Nick.
Yeah.
We just want to tell us.
Nobody wants hard questions. do you?
Tell us about God, man.
Yeah.
Nick, tell us about God. Nick, how you gonna catch all the druggies, man?
Now, what didn't you say you seen? What about the homeless shelter?
Well, now, so Nick does, the sheriff of DeKalb County does press a lot of God and Jesus and stuff.
Absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
I
great.
love God and Jesus,
Yeah.
man. If God and Jesus wasn't real, I'm going to hell. If we can't be forgiven, I'm going to hell. I've got so many insane shortcomings that I have to shore up and fix. And I learned like 2 days ago that I cannot fix my stuff on my own. I got to get saved. I got to find Jesus. I got to really, really do it, because by myself, I'm failing. I'm bad at it. But what I'm getting at, it's important, is he says all this stuff about God and Jesus. And he goes on this podcast with this little old lady. And they talk about God and Jesus, how great God and Jesus is. Well, one of the biggest things that Jesus said, maybe not biggest, but one of the big things that Jesus said was take care of the homeless. There's the parable, right? The homeless guy goes by 3 different people, right? And they're like, nah, bro, we can't do nothing for you. And then finally someone's like, yeah, it was Jesus. We'll double up on that. But he does say to help the homeless a lot to take care of the homeless.
Help the needy.
Yeah, well, then there's an opportunity for a homeless shelter somewhere in this area, right? I don't remember where. And Nick's completely against that. It's on a podcast, and I should have looked it up just so people can say it's hearsay, but it's on the internet unless they pull that video. But in the video, he said, here's the thing, man. Once one of them comes, the thing is, they've all got family. So one of them's there.
What if they're
Then
dead?
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, well, no, he wasn't saying it like that. He was saying they've all got families. So if you see one of them, you're going to see 2.
Yeah.
You see 2, you'll see, and all of a sudden it's just overrun, basically.
No,
Is-
that goes
again,
back
I'm
what you said
paraphrasing.
Well, a lot of
With
people
people-
is one bad week away from disaster.
Everybody.
And then there is some that has family that they can fall back on, but there's also a
I'm
lot.
blessed in that
I'm
sense.
blessed to have a good family.
Yes.
I am
Same.
blessed to have a great family behind me, and I
He
am.
got you.
But
you got
there's a
your
lot
dad?
of people that has nobody,
None.
nobody.
Exactly.
And now I'm not for handouts. Sometimes we all need a handout. Sometimes I need a handout, but I am for some hand ups.
Yeah.
But sometimes we all need a handout every once in a while. We
Sometimes
do.
you just need a little help.
We need
A little
help.
help, man.
And that's I think we need to have some type of trade program
Mhm.
implemented
I think that'd be great.
somewhere because
Northeast
nobody
is
knows
a-
how to do
That'd be
anything.
so awesome. Yeah.
Nobody knows how to do anything anymore.
And,
at all.
and nobody
Work
wants
with their
to.
hands.
I didn't know how to do anything until after I got out of law enforcement.
I hung all this stuff.
And
Yeah,
just
you
started
did
doing
great.
it.
I
You did
put
great.
drywall anchors.
I
Mark
learned,
Mark taught me that.
yeah,
It looks
I
good.
learned how to read
Thank
a tape measure at Valley Joist.
Dude, that was right after the sheriff's office.
That was right.
So
out-
how
well,
how
yeah.
long after I met you did you leave the sheriff's office? Were you working at the sheriff's office the first night I met you?
No.
Already
God,
gone?
no. Yeah, I was
You were already okay.
years gone.
I got you.
Years gone. I've been
Okay.
out for about 5 years now. 5 or 6 years.
I did gossip a lot there. Though.
There's a
Just
lot
from
of.
just from that little the few hours I was there, you could just hear. So much.
Well, now time out. What did you hear when you
Wait,
was
what
in
now?
there? You
no,
heard
it's
some.
just you could. They're just people. There's just the biggest piece of shit is what one lady said about the guy behind bars.
Okay,
Like, yeah, maybe he is, but like,
he's also
maybe he
just
needs
like
a little bit of
slipped
help.
up.
You
Yeah.
know?
Have you ever tried giving them a little bit of kindness?
Well, they don't have compassion.
No,
I've had to learn compassion the hard way, and and sometimes it's hard to show everybody compassion and love. It is.
there's a guy right now that I worked in the jail with. I don't hate this man. I don't have any issue with this man, short of how he acts. He thinks he's a very tough guy. And if he
There's
pull-
a lot of them that does that
Dude,
shit.
now listen, if he pulls you over, he's gonna act. He's gonna.
That dude. huh?
He's got his hair slicked back. He's got some pepper in his hair. He thinks he is him.
Mm.
Okay. So we're in the jail. I'm working, and one night, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of really quick ones. Where we go to the cell, this guy's kind of popping off. He's just angry. He's having a bad day, but he's already locked down. He's already locked down. Now people know I fight people. At least it gets around, right? So we're in there, and I watch his chest just pump up when this guy's like talking mess behind a locked metal door. All right. And once you get someone locked up, you're done, brother. We can
Yeah,
leave.
you
We
already
can, we
got 'em
can-
where you
we
want
can
'em.
get out of here, man. We can leave here. That ain't what he did. He grabs the thing, pop the door. And like literally the day before, they're like, hey, man, if y'all are fighting and you don't do something, you're getting fired. So I
Yeah,
was
he
like,
was taught that.
yeah, they said if we now he would walk around like that to every cell, to every person. He was the toughest
It was
jack
just that
ever.
because they were all behind bars. And
Yeah.
stuff.
And so we're sitting there with this, and he goes, pop the door. And he goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, yeah. And man, they started fighting. So I had to go in there, and I just snatched him up. You know, I snatched the guy off of him. I pushed him away. I was like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, we were done. We didn't have to fight nobody. You just wanted to feel tough for a minute because you got a dude
Did he get in
behind you.
trouble or
There's a lot
not?
like
Not
that.
a lick, son, not a lick. Now, after that, there was an Asian lady who lived here, and her only crime ever has been living here. She lived here for 50 years or more, maybe 20, 30 years,
An
whatever.
ice inmate.
Yeah. And he walked by her, ching chong, bing bang, ching dang. And I was just like,
Oh, no.
she was old
That
enough.
shit ain't funny.
She was old. It's funny like if it's in a
Yeah,
movie. It's
yeah.
funny if it's a joke.
That's somebody's mama. and shit.
This
That's
was someone.
reality,
This
man.
was someone's mom in a jail, and it was like, this is not. And that's when I said, "Oh, this is not where I want to be."
Yeah.
Now they didn't like me being around because I wasn't gonna sit there and like kind of bow down to none of them. I ain't.
No, they don't like
We,
that at all.
we can fight after.
Yeah,
We can
they don't
fight
like
right
that.
as we get off the clock. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I can't. If I can beat you up, why am I gonna sit here and let you talk to me, silly?
Mhm.
There's not. I'm not saying I beat up everybody, but if I know for 100% fact that I can beat you up, you're not going to talk to me silly in any way. I can whoop you. Show me.
Most
Yeah,
people
but
think they can just talk and get away with anything. though.
Well,
That's
well
the thing.
now he's a cop. He's a road cop. He's on the
For
road.
the sheriff's office.
100,000,000% through the sheriff's office. I know also, don't want to say for 100% fact. I'm going to say for a 75% fact. He has a, what would it be called if I beat my wife?
Domestic violence.
Wow. He has a charge. Is that allowed as a cop?
I know.
But it's just in.
Yeah.
Can you get it expunged?
If it gets no process, if she decides to
Not
drop
press
it,
charges.
She might have dropped it.
no.
And again, I don't hate him. It's just I realized then I was like, this is not what I want to do for the
And you
next.
can't
30
you can't
years of my life.
overstep your moral boundaries for a job.
No.
That's never something
The
compromise.
and
yourself.
again, no one's gonna call in on this because this is a hard conversation.
Oh,
to
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
And and again, I told you about my one interaction with the one kid, and I don't hate that kid at all. He was very polite to me. Just as far as first interactions go, So if I walked up to you and we're talking, and there's a Gatorade bottle sitting here, and I'm like, "Hey man, how are you, brother?" And I wow, smack the mess out of this Powerade bottle, smack it into the wall. Is that weird?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, "What you got going on inside, buddy?" Like,
What's
Right.
wrong, dog?
Now-
yeah,
now-
who hurt you?
Yeah.
for real.
Now there's the guy also that arrested my dad, and he went from being small to pretty big. Do they do drug tests for
Not
like
for
steroids?
steroids.
So
Not
no
for
one's getting drug
steroids.
tested for steroids.
I mean, they'd
Something
have to do
else.
a special test for steroids. Yeah.
but they don't. They
No,
don't-
but now they found a loophole. People who does steroids and as a cop, they like, hey man, you need to just go get your test checked. And they go, they got a doctor that will write them whatever.
Well, I need
They
that-
do. I used to have
Go
that
back.
doctor.
Go
I
back.
need that doctor.
Yeah, I
Tell
used
me
to
the
have
doctor.
that doctor. He used to give me whatever I wanted.
Point me to that guy. I don't want drugs. I just want some juice in my veins.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, I was never a juice guy. I was a pill guy.
Well, I think everybody was at some point.
Yeah.
But I again, you know, I done told you. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be the president of the United States.
Well, you're gonna have to get
That-
used to opposition and getting
That's
used to them hate.
That's a long ways to go, and luckily,
yeah.
most people hate me anyway
Yeah.
already, so that's good.
But I still don't believe
So
you'll
that's
ever do
good.
it. I
Yeah,
still don't believe you'll ever do it.
I-
Never
I-
make it.
I will.
No, you won't.
Shut up. But so what I am going to do is what I do want to do, and we're going to start the presidential debate after this, and we'll keep it live on that for a little while, and then we'll hop over on no smoking. Yeah, do you think? But what I am going to do first is I am going to run for mayor of somewhere, either it be Sylvania or Rainsville.
You'd have to live.
Well, the way my road is, my address is
Yeah.
Sylvania and Rainsville. It's a Rainsville address and it's also a Sylvania address. So that's a win.
Did
Right.
you do both at the same time or not?
You got a lot of old money around here too.
Shoot,
that
I ain't
be
got,
going
ain't
up
got
against
no
you.
chance. But the thing is, like, if they can't talk, cool. So you beat me,
Oh, my
okay.
bad.
Yeah, you're all right. That's just weird.
Yeah, weird.
But so the biggest thing would be like they have a lot of money. Okay, cool. But are they going to take the time to go door to door and knock and meet people? Probably not. We're going to do a whole lot to try to help the community out, do good things for good people in the area that probably aren't really getting any attention.
So, what would your
otherwise.
first order of business be as a mayor of a town around here?
Ooh, I'm honestly don't know. Right, I've got like 4 or 5 years, but as far as me being the mayor, I wouldn't just be like concerned on myself. I'd make sure like I get good people around me to help.
Yeah.
Like my boss, I think she does good thing. A lot of stuff she does good, and that she could do. How do you say it? That she would be very beneficial to have around. And then it'd be more about the people around me, right?
There's a lot of abandoned buildings in Sylvania.
They
That
could
could
put
be
some cool
turned into
stuff in there, right?
something,
What would you put in them?
Not a walk-in trade day like
Why
I
not?
see
Did a couple
all
years.
around here. We got actual trade day for that.
It'd be cool to have a little bar.
Well, I mean it would, but DeKalb County would never go wet. But it would be cool to have a bar. But out here,
Fort Payne and Rainsville has bars.
well, I know, but DeKalb County got to go wet for the other towns to.
Really?
Yeah.
So Sylvania couldn't just vote to go out?
Well, they could if they had enough people. If they had
It's got to
enough
be 1,000 people.
Yeah.
They got like a
Well, they
100
have to have. Well, Mentone had a special. I think Mentone's
Exception.
like 600, 700 people, whatever. I think they had a special election for that.
Yeah.
Okay, now they got money up in Mentone.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, money.
all the cabins. all
Now,
the-
again, I do think there should be more business in the area. Sylvania, I do think there's a whole bunch of good people in Sylvania. The fire department is a very nice group of people. They want to help some people in the area. It seems like they've been very polite to me and open. We're gonna do the food at Christmas. We're gonna try to
That's amazing.
feed some of the elderly in
Yeah,
the
that's
area.
great.
Short of seeing this and the sheriff telling them not to, the
Yeah.
way I asked the
sheriff
chief.
told him not to.
No, if he does.
Oh.
I asked, no, we're getting to it. I asked the chief if we could use the fire department as the central place to set up food, set up baskets, collect toys for kids, and then we take them out. He said, let me ask my captains, I think, or some whatever's under him. He said, let me ask them first. So short of them disliking what I say, right, disagreeing with what I say politically, then I think we're going to get to do it there, and I think that'll be cool, and I think that's going to be awesome. And we didn't plan that. That wasn't like I want to run for mayor. We're going to do this thing. A little old lady. What happened? Something was posted about helping kids or something. I can't remember what. And this little old lady messaged me, and she's like, "Hey, the holidays are super depressing for me. Please, do something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, yeah, well, let's see what we can do." So we just put it on there. It takes 2 seconds. People are like, "Yes, please, let's do this." Yeah, that's awesome.
That'd be
And
awesome. going
as far-
out doing that.
Yeah, dude. As far as getting stuff done, what did that take? 2
Nothing.
minutes. We're going to feed a whole bunch of little elderly people, and we're going to give them high fives, and man, we're going to have a good time with that. I think we can also turn that into a toy drive and get some toys to kids in the area that are having kind of shot Christmases. That's not necessarily their fault. It's no kid's fault that they have a rough Christmas. We can help out with that.
And especially this climate, it ain't even their parents' fault.
No,
Yeah.
and the money's so different now. Most parents are working.
Yeah.
But almost everyone's paycheck to paycheck.
Oh, absolutely. I'm paycheck to paycheck.
I'm lucky and blessed that I got if my grandparents didn't have a little bit of land that I could have put this double wide on, I'd still be paying on something.
Mm.
I was lucky and blessed enough that they helped us buy a home. We ended up selling our home. We got our double wide and we got done. You know what I mean? And once we did that, I'm lucky and blessed that way. But everybody ain't got that.
No.
And we got to help everybody. There's plenty of people with more money than me, and there's also plenty of people with less money than me.
Well, speaking of less money, the whole month of September, our church at Rahama Baptist Church is taking up
That's what she saw. Yeah.
non-perishable food items to go for the homeless in our area and for the people living in their cars.
Live in my car?
You know, there's some that's at Walmart. We've seen some at Walmart, some in the Dogtown community. There's people just down on their luck, and you know, you're not giving them money. You're giving them food. You're giving them bottled water.
What if they go buy dope with that can of beans I gave them? No,
that's
no,
ridiculous.
come on.
We're trying to actually spread the love around
Amen.
and trying to help the people who are actually in need of helping. I know that's hard for some people to grasp, but
Even though it says it in the Bible,
well, yeah, but you know,
I know you use the Bible as leverage to get a political office.
I didn't say it. He did.
some people do that. I want to talk about his encounter with the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
It
So
just came in your house, huh?
so
Are
there's
you ready to talk about it?
he's talked about it before
I've
on here,
talked
but we're going
about
to do
it
it again.
before.
So to lay the groundwork, there is and again, I have a pretty good relationship with Malone. Me and Officer Malone, we speak. We're very cordial. And so this isn't me directing it. Oh, Malone's a piece of crap. But now someone said, I heard something a couple of days ago. They're calling that over there in Ider a media circus. Well, who's the officer?
Gary Chapman.
It's Gary Chapman, I
The
believe.
dog, the
It's
bounty-
Dog the
Yeah,
Bounty
I
Hunter.
think they're
skit.
gearing up for a reality show, which I think is.
I
stupid
said that
shit.
too.
Well, they better
I
put
think
that.
it's
They better
stupid
put
as
that
shit.
footage that
Yeah,
they got. in
I
mind
think-
on
I
there
think it's-
because-
It's stupid. as
I
shit.
think they're either gearing up for a like you said, a reality show,
Yeah.
which is in an area absolutely already destroyed by
taking-
dope.
yeah,
Like y'all ain't got
already,
taking
y'all ain't-
advantage.
Yeah.
y'all ain't got
Y'all
enough
doing
money out of
great,
them
dog.
dope heads
Yeah,
yet. You know,
yeah.
come on.
Y'all are
man.
such
Well, they're such
badasses.
good guys.
Yeah.
They're such good guys. You
Yeah,
know,
great guys. Great
Dog
Americans.
Bounty Hunter is such
Yeah.
a.
They ain't
Yeah,
oppressing
great
nobody.
class
at all.
act.
Yeah. So the guy said though, he said what, and I'm just gonna say it, but he said what Malone doesn't understand is that guy's gonna end up having his job because that guy is a big deal over there right
Yeah.
now. He is flashing everything around. They aren't thinking that guy's not in good shape. He's in shape like me.
Yeah, me too. Just a
He's
fat
in,
shit.
He's in worse.
Yeah.
Watch the
Just-
mouth though, because they're
Oh,
gonna pull
my
us.
bad.
He's
My
in
bad.
worse shape than me. Actually, I'm getting moving, son.
Yeah.
And I don't. That guy looks like he got a happy face. Seems nice. All this. I'm just saying, as far as shape goes, I know when I'm fat because I know how my chin.
Oh, I'm
looks
fat
and my-
too. I'm fat.
But my chin is my double chin. I'm getting down to like at least 1.5.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
My face is shrinking. My body's shrinking.
Oh, I can
My
tell,
tummy
man.
and legs are getting right. I'm
Mm.
getting right, and that guy don't look like me.
No.
And I'm like, well, hang on, hold on. What's going on here? And I don't mean that in a rude way. If you're not in good shape, I'm just saying if you're an officer of the law, there should be a certain level of physical fitness that you should have to keep,
Some type of criteria
and
there.
you should at least be able to submit me. You
Mhm.
should at least be able to submit
Or
me.
me.
Or,
I
or
mean-
at least Ryan in jiu-jitsu. If you can
Right.
submit Ryan in jiu-jitsu, you can be a cop. And I've got $100 that says you can't sub Ryan. What's his name? Jason Chat. What's his
Now,
name?
Gary Chapman.
Gary Chapman.
Was he there that day?
Hang on, wait, we're gonna get to
Oh.
it. To be polite, I'm gonna put this out there, and you can clip this out because you're clipping stuff now.
I ain't clipping up.
You can clip this one. You're gonna want to clip this one
Alright.
out. Gary Chapman. I will give you $100. We'll set up a 5-minute grappling match. 5 minutes or
Yeah.
3 minutes. How's the gas?
I got it in the tank, son.
All right, Gary Chapman. We'll set up a 5-minute grappling match. 5 minutes, jiu-jitsu only, with wrestling and takedowns. And if you can submit Ryan, Beanstalk, 150 pounds,
145 pounds.
150 pounds soaking wet. Ryan Suggs, who's already choked out one of your officers, I'll give you $100. I'll give you $100 a greenback, and I mean that as polite as possible. I'm just. If you do it, great. I'll give you $100 if you. Gary Chapman, $100 to submit Ryan Suggs in a sanctioned little grappling match. $100. So Gary Chapman had a group of bounty hunters.
It was Leland Chapman.
Leland Chapman. Okay, had a group of bounty hunters, and what happened?
Well, it was sometime last year. It was it's probably right before summer last year. They made their first visit to the house, and my cousin, he's been in and out of trouble, and he's on the run right now. But he don't live there. It's my house. You know what I'm saying? It's my house. And
I'm gonna get flashbanged later.
well, he came to the house the first time, Leland did. And I was like, I know this guy. But anyway,
Where are you from? Give us that combo.
Pisgah.
No, give us the Leland combo.
Oh, the Leland combo?
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
heard that.
hear banging at the door one day, and I sound like somebody trying to beat my door down. So I'm pissed off, and I go to the door, swing it open. Here he comes trying to push his way in. And I said, no, buddy. I was like, who are you? And
so Leland tried to get in.
yeah, they tried to push their way in. The
wow.
first time. Like I said, he don't live there. My cousin does
As
not live
soon
there.
as you open the door.
Yeah. Right when I opened the door, escalating the situation. Right when I opened the door. And I was like, who the,
Did he feel strong?
No.
I'll give Leland $100 also.
Wait, Leland didn't feel strong.
No.
I've got $100 for Leland
So you was
Chapman.
wrestling Leland Chapman.
No, I didn't wrestle him.
He shoved him with the door.
I kept him from coming in the door. Like I kept my hand on the door.
I've got $100 for Leland Chapman if he can submit Ryan Suggs in 5 minutes in a jiu-jitsu.
And if I submit
$100.
you, then it's over.
Yeah.
You
I'll
lose
throw
the money.
100 in there.
Yeah, as soon as you get the sub, that's $200.
$200.
That's
I'll throw 100.
Same for the other guy. or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I know
Leland
both.
or Gary Chapman,
Yeah.
$200 for a 5-minute grappling match with Ryan. If you submit Ryan, you get $200.
And if I submit you, you get nothing.
Yeah, you get nothing. As soon as he subs you, it's over. Now watch them come out here and they got heel hooks.
Yeah,
They've been training with Chuck. They've been training with Chuck.
Yeah.
Wow, and they blow like, oh no, we didn't see that coming. Because
But
we got
anyway,
to be
They tried to push their way in the door the first time.
Yeah.
And I kind of made them go out, and I was like, no, you ain't coming in. You don't have a warrant. You don't have a warrant. And if they would have, they would have showed it to me and said, hey, yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Coming in. So I took them out on the porch, and I was like, look, last thing I heard, my cousin was in Missouri. Like, I haven't seen him in months, and I really hadn't. Like, I mean, he knew that he could tell that I was being truthful about it. And said, I ain't seen him in months and everything like that. Well, they leave, do their thing. About a month and a half later, knocking on my door
And they
again.
beating on it, son.
Mm-hmm. And this time it was one of the dudes that runs around with him, and try to push his way in the house again. I said, "What are you doing, man?" I was like, "Y'all have already came here once already, and I told you everything I knew, everything I know." Well, we heard he was in the area again, and I was like, "That don't mean he's here. He ain't welcome here."
This is my house.
Yeah, and he ain't welcome here. Like, he's obviously running from the law. I have never had any type of record in my life. So, I'm not, you're associating me just because of he put it on the bail or the bond or whatever.
Man.
And heck, I could put the White House on a bond, and you gonna go kick in the White House door? No. Okay. Anyway.
With my daddy dog.
Yeah. Anyway, last November, I think it was.
This is the third time.
Yeah, third time.
Third time? I thought it was only 2 times.
I did too.
No, they came back a third time. And this time I was asleep. Work night shift,
Yeah. I remember he's working nights.
work nights. And I was trying to get some sleep for work that night. Well, I hear somebody in my house yelling. And I just woke up. Well,
Where's
by the
my
time-
dad?
Yeah. By the time, and this Leland wasn't here the last 2 times.
It's his group though.
Yeah, it's his group. By the time I get to my bedroom door, which is 10 feet away, they was already in my house, like 30 foot into my house.
You can't catch a break with them.
No. And one dude was standing here plain clothes. The other one was standing here. Well, my first instinct is attack this guy
Now,
right
did
here.
you know they were cops or you thought they were robbing your house?
I thought they was invading my house.
So
Like, because they was yelling, and
sounds professional.
and I pushed the fat guy back, and he went flying toward the bathroom. And there was another guy standing right here, and I'll just kind of make my way around him. And they're just sitting here yelling obscenities at me the whole time. Like, no professionalism, not trying to de-escalate the situation. And
Escalating it.
Yeah.
Call me
Rule number one, escalate.
Call me a POS.
Yeah.
Call me a POS, all this, all that.
Get on the
And I was
ground,
like,
you piece of crap.
yeah, I was like, who do you think you are? Like, you don't have any type of right to do this.
I don't know
And
who
they
you
didn't-
are.
Yeah, exactly. Plain clothes. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. I was like, shoot me. Shoot me. What are you going to do? Go to jail? But anyway, yeah, they just kept escalating the situation. And like, this redhead guy, I don't know who he is.
Redheads
He
make me sick.
he kept calling me a POS, MFer, and I was like, buddy, if you got something to do, then do it.
Yeah.
And that's when he attacked me.
He said, "I'm
Okay,
doing
so
it."
what happened? What happened? Go ahead.
Well, he
Hang on,
came
scoot
at me.
over this way a little,
Yeah,
just a
get
little.
that mic up.
Yeah. All right, so this is Leland Chapman's dog, the bounty hunter.
Yeah,
just
yeah. I
buddy.
need to put this on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
But he comes at me. I get him in the clinch,
Okay.
and then goes straight for the choke.
I get it.
And I was going to grab him, and I was going to take him outside and throw him off the porch. Well, I tripped over the doorway, and I just locked it in, and kind of I had it tight.
Had the wrist or the hand?
It was under.
Oh, son, he's out. He's game over.
It was game over. And his head was back here, and I had him. He grabbed me by the balls. And so I let him go a little bit, and just enough for his eye to come out. I just started gouging that eye. And I was like, you better
And
let
his
go.
buddies is just watching you.
Yeah, he's sitting here saying, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. And I looked up at him and I said, shoot me. Shoot me. Shoot me. I'm choking your boy out right here.
I got to go to work in an hour.
Yeah.
I
I got a job to do. I'm trying to end this right now.
Yeah, we got to get out of here.
And anyway, I gouged his eye, and I was like, if you don't want to lose it, you better let go. And I just kept doing that until he let go, and then I kicked him off of me. I went outside, and the redhead guy went to their truck and got handcuffs. And he was like, "Oh, you're arrested, buddy." I was like, "For what? For what? You just invaded my house."
Was there any cops there?
No, not a single cop. Not a single until they called him. After all this happened, but he went and grabbed handcuffs, and he was trying to put handcuffs on me, and I was like, "Buddy, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that." And he, yeah, I am. Well, then anyway, he started swinging, and me, you ain't going to swing at me, and I'm not going to swing back. So, I pieced him up pretty good and knocked him on his butt, and got over him. And I said, "Yeah, you're done now, buddy." And I went in, got my ID, and got.
I'm not
You could
him.
have asked me for my ID first.
Exactly.
You coulda
Instead of
asked me
kicking in
for
my door
ID.
and-
yeah, like be like,
Man.
hey.
I went and got my phone, got my ID, slung my ID at
Yeah,
the
what a
fat
bunch
guy,
of
Bill
idiots,
guy,
man.
Bill.
Hono, I
bunch
don't
of
know his
idiots.
last name,
Bill Honey.
but
I don't know that for sure.
slung my ID at him and got on the phone, called my dad, and I was like, "You better get here right now, or these, something's bad's gonna happen." And anyway, by the time my dad got there, and he tried to de-escalate the situation and everything. got
Your
everybody
dad
set-
was de-escalating the situation.
And his dad's so nice.
Oh,
Yes.
great guy. I love your dad.
and
Your
he-
dad's the one who's de-escalating everything.
Exactly.
The cops didn't? They weren't there yet.
They wasn't there yet. And when
No,
the cops
wannabe
got
cops.
there,
No,
when the
fake
cops
cops.
did get there, my
Fake
dad was
cops.
already there, already de-escalated the situation, got everybody separated. And the redhead guy was like, "I've been here before. I know who you are." So what it was is they sent him as a Mr.
Oh,
big
big dog.
tough guy
Yeah.
to they knew what they was going to do.
Yeah.
I can't say that for sure,
Yeah.
but they knew what was going to happen.
I mean, they broke in your house.
And I wouldn't let them in. That's what pissed them off the first time. Like, they got mad about that. And he's like, "I've been here before." And I was like, "So you knew that I wasn't him? So you knew that I wasn't the guy you was looking for, but you still went after it anyway." And the cops got there, and I was like, "Don't y'all know that he's got family members with same last name as him, sisters and brothers?" I mean,
It's
they,
illegal
What did
to
the
have-
cops say? What
Yeah,
did the
what
cops
did the
say when
cops
they
say?
get him?
well, the cops told me
Which
sat on the porch
cops? Which
and
cops came?
What was
some guy with glasses.
I mean, was it sheriff's office? Was it local?
Yeah, it was sheriff's office.
So
It's
DeKalb
Jackson
County, Jackson County Sheriff's Office. So what did they say?
They told me to sit on the porch and shut the F up. And I said, no, you ain't gonna come in my yard talking to me like that after I just got my home invaded.
Yeah.
I was like, that's constitutional rights that you've infringed right there.
Right away.
Like, and he just said, you need to get up there and shut up. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna
talking
shut up.
tough?
Yeah. And I was like, looky here, why don't you go to his sister's house or something like that?
Why is
I
it
was
gotta be
like,
my house every
Yeah,
time?
they got the same last name. He's never lived here. Like, he's just used this address to
Get his mail.
put on whatever, and they know he don't live there. But anyway, I told him about his sisters and everything, and the cops were like, oh yeah, I can take you there. I know who she is. And before I even know it, I go in to get the blood off of me.
They're
and stuff.
gone.
They're gone.
Was it your blood?
Gone. No, it wasn't my blood.
Oh.
It wasn't my blood.
So another offer that we can do. Hey. Oh, you look cool. Tell them who you are.
I'm 11.
We're gonna be 11 for Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Show them the face.
Wait, who's 11?
Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things. Okay.
Heck
Look,
yeah.
hey, show them again.
Nala.
Heck
Look, Tyler.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Now you're dead.
Oh, I'm dead. That's what that's supposed to do?
Dead.
It pushes you up against
Yeah.
walls.
Nala's being Mama Nala.
Oh, Mama Nala.
Mama Nala.
So
Oh.
I'll do one more public offering. This should be clipped out also.
Yeah.
I'll make a pretty cool public offering.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu and wrestling only.
Mhm.
Right? Jiu-jitsu and wrestling only. We charge $10 a head to watch. We charge $25 to enter to compete,
Mhm.
and we take every dollar earned and we give it to charity in the area.
Mhm.
But it's a matchup of like people like us versus either law enforcement officers or people from Leland and them's group
Yeah.
that broke into your home.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
We
Especially that redhead guy.
we
I
call
like
it
that.
cops versus law-abiding
Not
citizens.
cops. versus
Cops against
non-cops.
yeah, cops.
constitutional
Yeah.
rights.
Cops versus
bearers.
people just trying to be alive. And we have a jiu-jitsu
Trying to work.
competition. We can put the mats down. We can have a jiu-jitsu competition. We can get it done probably at the Coliseum or something cheaper,
Mhm.
because I don't think jiu-jitsu will just sell a ton of tickets.
Mhm.
But, I think with it being for charity and with it being every officer in the area is open to compete, every single officer in DeKalb County and Jackson County is open to throw you money down and compete. And we will find some people we know y'all don't train jiu-jitsu. We know y'all don't know really what jiu-jitsu is and stuff because y'all don't train.
But you need to.
But what we'll do is we'll make sure it's only a white or blue belt competing against you.
Yeah.
White and
I
blue.
don't have a belt.
White
so-
and blue are the first two belts. Ryan has no belt. He's a white belt, if anything. So we'll make sure that only white belts or blue belts are competing. So it's not brown. Like we bring Elijah Carlton
Yeah,
up here.
yeah.
Oh, God.
Snapping heels.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I bring like a Chuck Mitchell up here,
Yeah,
and they're like,
yeah.
dude, this guy weighs 40 pounds. And then all of a sudden their legs.
Tangles them
Yeah.
up like a
No,
pretzel.
But we can do that. We can give every single dollar to charity. It'll be such a cool little event for everybody.
It
We can
would,
shake
and-
hands when we're done. And
Exactly.
even more importantly than all of that, which is all
Charity.
very important, charity's important. Even more important than all that, it'll bring us together. Let everybody
Oh,
shake
there you
hands.
go, there you
It'll
go.
it'll
I
bring
like that.
it'll
I
bring
like
us
that.
together. Let us compete a little together.
Yeah.
Shake hands, buddy up. How are you, brother? How are
Because
you,
all
man?
I wanted was
See,
an
I
I'm-
like
apology.
that. I
I'm
like
cool.
that.
Notice when I had that arm bar, I didn't break your stuff off.
Yeah.
No, I'm cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Notice when you was choking me and you thought I was like breaking the law, but I wasn't, and you choked me out, and it's okay. You let go. We're cool. We're not different.
Yeah.
Because
I
all
think-
I wanted was an
I like
apology,
that.
you know?
I
And
think more important. We
I
clip
mean,
that.
I like
We
that.
I
I
could have
think
got a lawyer.
I think more
Could've got a
important
lawyer.
than any of that, it brings us all together.
Yeah, I like that
We
a lot.
compete a little bit.
Yeah, I like that.
We go head to head.
Yeah.
We see what happens,
Yeah.
and then we call it a day. Hey, man, let's go get a beer.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go
that-
get a beer.
And they'll
You
get to
know.
see the magic of jiu-jitsu and work.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
They know
Yeah.
they need to work on
We
something.
they'll get
And
to
they
see
might get
jiu-jitsu.
one of us.
They're gonna get a couple of people, no doubt. They'll
Yeah.
get a couple of people. I think Malone would get somebody just because he's a big person.
Oh yeah.
I think I don't think many other of them
No,
get
I don't
anybody.
either. I don't-
I don't think many other of them gets
How
anybody.
about
Just
the juice guy.
now the juice guy that arrested dad, he might get somebody.
Yeah.
I would take that match just based on how you arrested my dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did it. No, really, he's always been very polite to me. I catch the vibe that he has, and I'm just like,
What's the
is.
vibe?
I just want to arrest people and ruin their life.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that's just not.
No,
I
that's a
just
good
can't.
vibe to
I
put
can't be that way.
Mm-mm.
But if anything, just for the sake of the fun and the show of it, I would take that match, and we could sell that. arrested his dad.
And I'll take any of them.
It's good. It's fun. Ryan will get anybody. I think that would be, I think, again, more importantly than us being like, hey, haha, we're better than you at jiu-jitsu, nana, nana, boo-boo. I think the most, and I'm kidding, they might win a lot. I think the most important thing would be, dude, we had a cool little day. We're good. We're all
We're not enemies.
Yeah,
like
we're
you think
good.
we are.
We're good. We
Like,
can all be cool together. And then we let Will out for one day.
Yeah. Will's on our team.
We let Will out for one day.
Yeah.
We do it in the jail,
Yeah.
in like a C-pod, not C-pod. Where's everything? Somewhere in that jail. We do it. We're on your home turf, brother.
And I think I
Alright.
gotta say is like Leland was cool.
Leland was cool.
Leland was
So
cool.
it's not like you just hate Leland.
No, but he did try to push his way in my house.
But
like,
he ended up being cool
he ended up
and
being
professional.
cool
There you
as
go.
and
everything.
de-escalating everything. That's what we want.
Everything.
That's what we want.
Because I
out
did
there.
cuss him out. I
But,
was like,
okay,
what are you
but,
trying
that,
to?
but that's what we want.
But
we
Exactly.
want that.
But to be clear-
he did a good job.
But to
His
be,
other boys, no.
but to
not so
also
much.
be clear, he did feel soft. I'm just
You
kidding.
gotta put that out there.
he
All right, well, I like to hear that.
he felt
That's
like
good.
that he probably
That's good.
could.
That is professional. That's how it
That's
should
really
be.
good.
How can I hate? I'm sorry I'm at their own house,
They do
man.
need to learn how to
My
talk to
bad.
people, though.
They all do.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
And then yeah, break it, Zach.
But
I think
he
that's
did
important,
Good. He did
but-
good.
I think we're gonna hop off here. We're gonna y'all want to keep going like we are now, and we can watch.
Nah, we can hop off.
Are you gonna watch that?
Grapevine.
We're gonna hop off the grapevine.
He said-
We're gonna hop on over to the Drinking Class Network. No
Come on
smoking,
over.
all that. Hop on if you want to. We're gonna watch the presidential debate and have some fun. And then yeah, but seriously, completely open challenge to every cop in Jackson, DeKalb County. We can get a few jiu-jitsu white belts and blue belts.
Soon.
We'll give every $1 to charity, 25 to enter, 10 to win, 10 to enter for spectators, and then at the end of the day, we all get to shake hands, have some fun. I know Austin Mallett's daddy probably would like a rematch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that was rough. That was rough. On a serious note,
Yeah.
there's no ill will about it. I think that would be the
No,
greatest thing for
I
everybody.
wonder if that would just bring a bunch of people wanting to challenge.
I just have my feelings.
Yes, yes.
I have my feelings hurt more than
Co-
anything.
completely
That's
law
it.
abiding, completely safe, completely refed good. We know some of the best refs in the
Sanctioned.
game. Unsanctioned. It's just a jiu-jitsu match.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just a
So
jiu-jitsu
you're
match.
not
I think that would be so good for the area to get the cops and the regular people together, and
Let's do it, guys.
well, let's see how tough everybody is. It'll be fun, and all the money goes to charity. We're gonna clip that out, and I'll actually make that offer again later. See you guys. Have a good day.
Peace.
Peace
I think
out,
that
guys.